So, going over all the things in this old truck, I figure it's finally time to take the top off my AFM and see what's in there. And this is glued down. People have other thing on YouTube, they have other videos describing how this is glued down with silicone. So I'm just trying to work all that silicone out of there. It's really heavy silicone. And then after it's gone, I'll try and lift the cap up and see how it looks. If it's like everything else on the truck, it's probably in good condition. I still haven't really found the problem that I need to find to fix this thing. So what I'm finding is that this stuff is actually pretty thick. There's a good 1/8 inch of this goo going down in here, and the resistance, trying to lift up on this, the resistance of this edge is actually holding it. So I'm pretty much having to gouge all of this out of here so I don't have that that resistance along the edge. So this is going to take a little while. I can also see that as I'm digging this out and these pieces that I'm getting out here, how they're flaking off, that I'm probably going to want to make sure I clean out all these grooves pretty good, because these pieces of silicone are going to fall inside as soon as I lift this lid up. This silicone kind of reminds me of the type you use to seal windows, exterior windows. Okay, so I've gotten as much as I can probably get out of here. This stuff is really difficult to, if you've ever done anything with silicone, you know, it's really difficult to get the pieces. They just kind of have a mind of their own. So this is, I haven't taken this off yet, so this is going to be the grand unveiling of this thing here. If I can get it off. Let's see. I don't know if they put stuff underneath. Oh, it's got like a little lip here on the rubber thing. Actually has its own little lip. It looks like it maybe fits underneath there. So that might keep some of the silicone pieces out. Yeah, so like I said, pretty much everything I take off on this truck looks pretty good, and this is no exception really. I don't see any grooves in anything here. Nope, I don't really see any problems, but I'll go through it and check it out. Okay. So the problem I've been having with this truck, which is a problem a lot of people have with these 22 REs, seems like, is that it'll start and it'll idle up really high, like it has a vacuum leak. But I've checked all over for vacuum leaks. And then it'll heat up, and the idle will drop down to about 1200. And at one point along in that heat up process, it will just usually just completely die of fuel, just like it's starving fuel. That's the reason I was going to look in here, because apparently this has a fuel cutoff relay. So I was just going to watch this as the engine starts to see what it does there. But the engine will just start starving for fuel and just start shaking back and forth and knocking around. And the only thing I did before this, before it all started happening, is the battery went dead, and I changed the battery. And I've checked all the grounds, gone over all the grounds for the whole car, cleaned them all. So it doesn't seem to be a ground problem. But I was wondering if just something got messed up in the electronics someplace when I changed that battery. I've gone through all the vacuum lines, replaced every vacuum line in here. Checked out the coil, the igniter. Checked out the distributor. I haven't checked to see if it has fuel pressure, because it usually starts and runs. It runs really good on the highway even. But if you stop it and go away from it for like 10 minutes and then come back and start it, it'll run for about a minute and then it'll just die. It'll just starve. Like it doesn't. It makes you feel like you need a manual choke to pull out to keep it running. I've cleaned the throttle body, cleaned the IA CV down underneath here twice, reset the TPS, cleaned out all the water ports that go to the air valve, all the water ports, cleaned out everything in the thermostat areas. That has a new, about a year ago, I put a timing chain and new timing chain, water pump, everything in there, new radiator. I bled the system, water system out. Couldn't get any more bubbles out of that. I checked the vacuum booster. It seems, by the tests that they have, it seems okay, even though it's rusted on the outside. It seems like it's holding pressure. The ERG valves check out. The little valve here that controls ERG checks out. So, just going through problems, going through solutions, I guess. I'm going to start this and see what it does.